Tell me about how you got into making movies.
Well, I worked at CCO TV for about 20 years, and there was a point where I needed a little bit of an outlet. I wasn't. I wanted to be a little more creative, and with journalism, you kind of have to follow a line, and you have to walk the middle of the road. And I wanted to try narrative filmmaking, and so there was a couple of film contests about 10 years ago that I entered into and just kept kind of going back to every year. There's a 48-hour film festival. There's Z-Fest, which actually happens. This is their 10th year. And I've just found a nice niche of competing in those and having a really good time and getting good groups of people together and making fun films. But we're kind of looking to create films outside of that contest feel, so that it's not timed and there's not rules. And a good coworker of mine over at CCO TV, Aaron Goodyear, and I had this idea from his friend Chad Leitheiser, who probably had this idea 20 years ago, but we put pen to paper and created Whiteout, which is the script for the upcoming film that we're working on currently that we have officially cast you in. Is that a yes?
Oh, of course. I had my agent we talked it over, and then we said, there were a bunch of scripts I was reading, and but this one intrigued me.
Yeah, this one.
That's me sounding like I'm actually a big shot. No, if you want me to act in any kind of commercial, I'd say yes. So now that you've given me this role, tell me, this is the role I was born to play, as I told you when you asked me. Tell me about how Adam Carter is going to make his film debut.
Well, we've got two different parts that we're kind of floating out there for you, and they're both newsmen. One of them is a news anchor.
I can do that.
Yeah, I believe you can do that. I believe you've done that. His name is Anders Rockwell.
Ooh.
He's the news anchor that kind of sets up a little bit of the story. But we also have a news reporter on the street,
yep.
Martin Goldman. And we're kind of floating which one we like you better for. It all depends on what kind of costuming we can get you in.
Yeah.
I know, like brown corduroy and fat ties.
Yes.
The film takes place in 1981. It's in Minneapolis, and it's basically about how the Norwegian mafia is running coke for Pablo Escobar.
Wow.
It's a nice, fun, lighthearted story.
I was going to say, it's a family story.
It's a family fun story. It's considered a dark comedy, but it's also like a drama adventure film. So it's got some really nice twists and turns to it.
Well, I can't wait. I'm happy to do this, and it's very exciting for me. Again, it's something that who doesn't want to be in the movies?
Right. And that's what we want to do. We want to work with people who want to have fun, who want to be creative. I will tell you this: I'm not going to name names because this is not the time or place for that. But we've talked to a couple of Hollywood actors in movies that everyone has seen that have shown some interest in being a part of our production, and we're really excited about that.
Well, I'll have to school them on the ways of the method acting.
Correct.
Sean, how active is the local filmmaking scene?
Oh, Minneapolis is much more bustling in the film and production than you would ever assume. Now, I know a lot of people remember back in the 90s, all the films were coming here, Mighty Ducks and Jingle All the Way and Untamed Heart, or Baboon Heart, Untamed Heart, which I forgot what it was finally named. Films have been playing and being made here for a long time. The emergence of this digital filmmaker, I like to call it, in the last 10 years or so, where pretty much anybody can get an affordable camera and put a crew together, has really kind of exploded the local market. It's really amazing that there aren't bigger films being made here, but the ones that are being made here are really high quality, and I'm really excited to be a part of that community.
And is it easier now than it ever has before? I mean, it's just everybody the camera technology and the price point now seems that everybody has that access if they have the creativity. It's really limitless, right?
Well, it's true, and there's also really good places to get gear, even to rent in the local market. Z Systems in St. Louis Park, Cinequipped in Brooklyn Center. These are places where you can get that Hollywood-style gear for a really, really good price, and you can have it for a few days, and you can make your film in the time you need.
So what, don't mean to put you on the spot. It's just you and I talking. What kind of financing do you have? And I mean, what kind of payment am I looking at here? This should probably set me up for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, you're going to be taken care of right up front.
Okay.
And I think it was, we're going to get you a brown corduroy suit and a pack of hams, I think is what it was. But the
trailer, I mean, what kind of trailer will I be set up in?
Yeah, it's more of a biffy, I think is what
okay.
Is that the correct? Goodyear is filling me in from over across the room. The funding right now is basically coming out of pocket. We're going to start an Indiegogo fundraiser to get this thing really moving and get it going off the ground. That's kind of how a lot of filmmakers have to do it. I got a kid in college. I got other kids in school. This is kind of the passion project where you kind of have to scratch and claw and beg and kind of, do what you got to do to get it done. But we are going to start a fundraising campaign here in the next few weeks, and hopefully people can help us get this thing made.
Great. Well, Sean, thanks so much. Thanks for thinking of me, and I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to help you guys out, and I can't wait to see the finished product once it's all done.
We're excited to have you, Adam, and thanks for having me on.
You got it. Sean Skinner over at WCCO Television, also a local filmmaker, which will launch my film career, no doubt. So my days on the radio are limited. You're probably thanking yourself for that, but stay tuned anyway.